Good morning, guys. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Goblin Town. No, just kidding. Welcome to Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, as you can see, we are definitely struggling to get above this downward sloping trend line. We did get a closure above, tried to accelerate higher, but we have subsequently been rejected back down. So we are getting squeezed obviously now between these lower highs, obviously a new lower high here in this short-term time frame, and this support area. Then also below that we do have this larger time frame trend line. But I mean, if we lose this support area here and we come back and test this support trend line again after only getting a bounce this high, you would have to give it a very decent probability of breaking it, and then, well, at least initially coming down to around the 36,000s, and then we'll probably get a bounce, we'll probably get a forward check, a back check into the trend line, and then we'll get rejected all the way down. Well, who knows how low. Obviously we've got this major $30,000 area where again we could probably get a bounce, probably takes us about to 36,000, and then yeah, well, then we either break above, we don't lose all hope, or we lose 30,000, and then we'll find ourselves probably mid to low 20Ks ultimately. But yeah, there is a lot of FUD, there is a lot of there's a lot of despair in these markets, all just looking disgusting. You can probably tell by like the tone of my voice that these markets are just not particularly looking that good. I mean, if we go over to stocks, this is the S&P. You can see tested a very important level to the downside, having a bounce which is currently at the lowest possible level. We'd expect a bounce to come before coming lower. This is the weakest possible bounce we could have had. Obviously breaking this trend line, which we tried to, we actually touched it, breaking this support, which we haven't even. That obviously will offer a lot more encouragement, but if we are not to do that, I mean, again, we come down and test this area again, we're most likely to break it. Not looking good there. Obviously we've got the Fed coming in this week. We've got this major issue with the Japanese yen. This currency is basically in free fall. Obviously, just imagine it inverted. This is the dollar first. If it was JPY USD, it will be inverted. I mean, we could put one minus, but basically this currency is in free fall, and as of yet, the Japanese central bank is still looking to protect their bond, or I'd say not protect, but pin their yield curve down, which does underlie the yields for obviously all global bonds to a certain extent. So if it is to give that up, and I think it's got a meeting today, followed by I think it's 11 days that the Japanese market will be shut for some holiday celebration or something they've got going on. If they start to say anything about they're going to review their policy, that can only mean they're going to review their yield curve control, at which point obviously the currency will recover, but global bonds will definitely sell off in anticipation of that, and we will probably then literally get a Black Monday next Monday if that is to happen. I mean, maybe the timing it so when Japanese markets are shut for a while, so that obviously the dust can potentially settle before Japanese markets open again. But I mean, you have two people, two sets of what are they called, agencies in Japan. You have like the Ministry of Finance, and then you have the BOJ. One is obviously only really responsible for the currency, and the other one is responsible for the bonds. So they are currently at loggerheads. But yeah, this is obviously causing inflation in Japan, and yeah, I mean, at some point this is just going to squeeze them into having to stop yield curve control, because it is relentless unless we do get an ease in inflation. And currently the only as ironic as it is, the only bright spot on the horizon for potential easing inflation is a material slowdown in China, and that could obviously then ease off their demand on just everything that they demand for, obviously, to keep their economy going. But then on the flip side, that ain't good, is it, positive for global growth, but then I guess global growth means that inflation can also have an impact on inflation, and then we can just end up in the Ponzi markets where we end up in a relatively low inflation stroke deflationary environment, where obviously central banks can just pump in money to chase asset prices whilst the underlying economy is basically BS. So just all rubbish there. DXY, I mean, pumped up to a ridiculous height, having another attempt at a pullback. Maybe this is the one where we get a significant pullback, and then we can get that rally in risk assets. But I mean, it's been relentless. This is a strong trend. We can look at it obviously on a weekly and see that we are obviously at a level where we could get a decent pullback potentially in toward this price area, which would be, well, actually would be a very good pullback towards the 96 handle, but ultimately you'd expect it to continue upwards from there unless something is materially going to change in these markets, which at the moment it just doesn't seem like it does. But maybe that is a cue for a contrarian indication that that maybe something is going to change. But obviously earnings not coming in great for tech companies, which are obviously releasing now. I mean, I know Facebook got a bit of a bounce, but obviously its expectations were particularly low. Gold struggling, indicating potential liquidity problems. This is obviously on a weekly, but obviously only coming back into this support area. Let's just go back to the 4 hour. Right back into the support area, and obviously having a nice bounce there, so it does obviously need to get back above here. So what else? Silver obviously wrecked, but having a little bit of a bounce. So just not good overall. At least the 10-year is hovering around and not doing a lot either to the upside or the downside, so that is not necessarily scary markets. Bitcoin dominance though, broken above obviously this level. Maybe it's going to forge it back check and paycheck. I mean, that is an indication of potential more downside in markets. The Ethereum USD, I mean, back in its support level here, and got this trend line similar to BTC in the support level, and got the trend line, as you can see, in the support level, and got the trend line support as well. So we can turn this around from here. This is looking increasingly like a descending channel, which statistically does have a high likelihood to break to the upside, but doesn't have to break to the upside, and clearly could be clearly it's looking like it wants to come down, doesn't it? I mean, you just got to look at it. So if we do lose this support level, I mean, but we're going to know, because Bitcoin is going to basically be crashing down at that point to the mid to low 30s. What else? What good news can I tell you? Not much really, other than this is potentially what we can pin our bullish hopes to, is getting back above 4,300 today. Get this Friday close above 4,300. We'll almost certainly see a plus 40k Bitcoin close as well, and obviously I think this is the monthly closes are coming in as well. Coming in. So if we can get above here, we can probably get above 40k. We'll probably get an acceleration from breaking this trend line and this support again, because a lot of people will be shorting this level and selling into this level, expecting the move down. So they will cover. They will obviously the people with the tighter stocks will have them above here, and that will pump us higher. So that is our hopium for the day. Let's look at stochastics. See what they are doing. 4 hour turning down, looking pretty tired here. I have no doubt the 10 hour is not pointing up at present, but we shall wait. Oh, it actually is. So 10 hour not looking bad, and actually fully in the bullish zone here as well. So we've got a chance. 12 hour though, looking to try and turn back down here. Daily still pointing up at the moment. 2 day has freshly turned down. 3 days still kind of pointing down. 5 day got all the field to run into. Weekly looking to turn down as well, and bi-weekly, whilst it looked like it was trying to turn back up, is looking like it wants to come deeper. So all in all, it is looking like Goblin Town. I think all we can really pin our hopes on is a rally in this in stocks into this close. But I do honestly, with the JJB or basically Japan messing about, and then obviously with FOMC next week, we could. I mean, there's a lot of risk in this market that people may just be looking to hedge. So therefore this will struggle to go up. So there you go. But guys, as optimistic as we can be this morning. Thank you for listening. Happy Friday everybody. Hope you guys have all got a great weekend planned. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you fine people soon.